You know, it's hey everybody. It's one of those shows. I'm no joke. We're having some technical difficulties. I said, screw it. I'm gonna bypass this whole thing with the music, and here I am. All right. Let me just bring in my guests here. We're trying to get situated. No introduction needed. We got these guys over here. Um, hey, Abby. Hello. Hello. Trying to get everything all situated. Look at that. This guy has the crypto popcorn bucket. You guys
For
have
me,
pants
it's
on. You
always
have pudding.
for me, it's always a good show. I know it's always going to be a good show when Abby and company are here. So really appreciate you. Thank you.
Uh, yeah. Why don't you guys go ahead and fluff around a little bit? I gotta get my our guests in here. What a
Fluff
yeah.
around.
Fluff
Fluff
around. That's
around.
right.
I don't know
You
if
heard
that's
me.
the word we
Around.
want to use live.
What up, Dan?
Are we fluffing? Ish, man, it's so good to see you. I got to show you this other guy, and I want to show you something because you're a fellow Wonder Woman lover like me. I want to show. So I picked this thing up the other
I
day.
saw that. I saw when you posted
I
that.
really am in love with this thing,
That's crazy,
and
man.
it holds
So that
comic books
you got that at the movie theater?
at AMC. It's not my local theater, and I want to show you this thing real fast
Oh, this guy.
because I know we are our fellow Wonder Woman fans. I got this from Heroes Con. This is a Jenny prison,
Oh,
and it's signed and numbered by
wow.
Jenny. So I don't know if you can see that. Sorry for that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Yo. Yo. Now I'm really jealous.
and I'm going to tell you something. I love Jenny Frison. I'm sure you're a fan too. But this guy we got on coming tonight, this dude draws like
I don't love her, but I am a fan.
I think I love her and I am a fan.
Well, my problem with Jenny, and I do love some Jenny work, I think, and I guess she can get away with it. She be phoning it in. It's it's generally the same, the same pose, the same style. Like you know what I mean. Like it
Yeah,
is what it is.
I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. But I'm a fan. I love her artistry. She's a big an animal lover too. Like she checks a lot of boxes.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, wow, what a mess tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize because, well, I apologize. What can I say? We're having some like difficulties. Poor David's like, oh, here you go. Talk about this.
There is a Wonder Man. There is a Wonder Man. He's an artificial, um, yeah, artificial life.
Is he?
He would technically be a brother of Vision and the Grim Reaper.
Hmm.
And there's a Wonder Man TV show coming on as well.
Yeah.
But
Do you
this
think
is
that's
that's really
Marvel.
necessary?
I think that's why they're asking, right? Oh,
I
and I
mean,
got a bone, boy. I got a bone to pick with you, homeboy.
who?
You.
Why do you have a bone to pick with me?
I'm sorry, brother. My phone is giving me issues. It's not allowing me to.
I'm going to take a venture a guess, and it might have to do with Marvel because you said Wonder Man.
I'm confused.
Okay,
I'm going to
so
tell you why he has a bone to pick with me. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because he's racist, and because he watched Riri and he didn't like it, and I happen to be
You liked
black,
it?
so
Honestly,
his
you liked
bone
it?
is to pick with me.
Ish.
Right,
As
Caesar.
a-
I'm kidding.
you liked, but did you like Ironheart?
Yes.
that was
I
so
don't.
hard to watch.
Yeah.
It was hard to watch. I was this close to forwarding, just forwarding parts just to get it out of my way and just get to the end. It was, and mind you, I'm one of those guys that does not need action. I don't need action all the time. I'm good with some good, strong dialogue. I could watch a very strong dialogue-y, if that's such a word, type of movie and enjoy it. But Ironheart was just rough. I don't like her character. I hated her character. She was just spoiled. She was just, now, mind you, I get it. I didn't read the book. Don't know if she's the same way in the book too. You know, hard headed, prideful, whatever you want to call it. But I just stuff just she did just drove me crazy. Her actions. It's not like she's in high school. This is a college woman, right?
Yeah, the only similarity between the Ironheart MCU and the Ironheart Marvel comics was that she's a young minority genius. That's it. That's it. The MCU series did not do that character justice, who I love in the comic book. But and I love Anthony Ramos too, and I feel bad that was Anthony Ramos's entry into the MCU, because I want to see that guy more. I love Anthony Ramos.
So I gotta say, and I think it's interesting, right? And I don't agree. So I want to tell you that, and here's what I don't agree on. And I think that, and I don't know, Caesar, we could talk about it. I think you might be being overly critical, and I don't know about you, Dan, because you generally have some very good informed opinions on stuff.
Unlike Caesar.
Caesar doesn't read. You know what I mean? He's never seen Goonies. Like, there's some questionable things going on. He'll make fun of Studio Ghibli if you talk about it too much.
Oh,
there's a lot of questionable things going on with Caesar. So I think Caesar may be roll tiding in this event. And what I mean by that is, here's what I mean. What you said, Caesar, is a fair critique. You took the words out of my mouth. I think Riri Williams is the most unlikable character in a brilliant television show. And I think that two things can be true, right? Like, I love the Game of Thrones television series. I can't tell you, majority of the cast I didn't care for. Most of the characters were just very unlikable. But as a show, it was just a really good show. Felt the same way about Walking Dead. I like not a single character in the entire Walking Dead television universe. But I thought, after season 1, because I didn't like season 1, season 2 through like 5, which is really good. That having been said, I do not like, when I say I don't like Riri Williams, I don't like her personality. I don't like her character. I don't like, all of the shady things that she did. She did not one heroic thing, right? But I thought that the show.
Are you talking in the MCU, Riri Williams?
No, I'm talking about in a television show.
Yeah, in the MCU TV show, not the comic book.
No, in the MCU television show.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
what I'm talking
I'm agreeing
about.
with you.
Like the character wasn't someone that I identified with, related to, or found to be likable, right? But I thought the package put around the character, Zeke Stain, the Hood and his crew. I actually quite enjoyed the Hood's crew. I thought that some of the things that they did, the writing, the production, I thought was good. If I'm going to be critical about some of the production and some of the non-show things, I'll say that I think Dominique Thorne is a very wooden actor, but I also think Keanu Reeves is a wooden actor.
How dare you?
I also think, but he is. Like, he's a one-trick pony. He does not know how to emote.
He's definitely more stoic. No, he is emo, but he's
no, he doesn't know how to emote.
Oh, I thought you said he doesn't know how to emo. I'm like, he knows how to emo.
Like, I can't tell the difference between happy.
No, Sam, he didn't say emo. He said emo.
I can't tell the difference between happy Keanu Reeves and angry Keanu Reeves. Like, there's no difference. It's the same emotion. There's only one other wooden actor who I don't enjoy, is like Kristen Stewart, right? Like, I once posted a picture. Yeah, I once posted a picture of Kristen Stewart in the Mando mask, and I was like, the Mando mask shows more emotion.
That's true.
Kristen Stewart, but anyway. So my critique is that, I don't hate Dominique Thorne. I think she's very wooden. I don't hate her as an actor. I think she's wooden. I don't like the character of Riri. I think Riri is the most unlikable character on a brilliant show.
My criticism.
Do you think that's intentional, though?
My criticism has nothing to do with Dominique. I think she could be amazing for all I know. If I'm just basing it on the series as compared to the comics, I don't think they did the character Riri Williams justice in the MCU like they do in the comics, because especially in this recent run a couple years ago, Fall of the House of X, she was a key hero. She helped save the mutants and everything, right? Tony Stark worked with her. She did a lot. She's a great hero, right? She has her rough around the edges parts, but who doesn't? But I think in the MCU, I have to agree with what Caesar said. She's whiny. She's a baby. It's like you know, and here's the rub. If I can even let all that go, right? You literally see, and she's supposed to be a genius, right? Now, I don't want to go and say these are unrealistic because it's fiction, right? But if I'm just saying that, you literally see in the entire show how she's helping out Zeke Stain, right? And how, you know, she finds out from Anthony Ramos's character that he's in leagues with another nefarious villain, and
She
basically
never helped out Zeke Stain.
What's that?
She didn't help him. She used him, manipulated, blackmailed him,
She
stole
did help
from
him.
him,
She helped
and then got him in
override the
trouble.
chip. She helped override that chip and break his and get him his independence back from the hood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she did, but the point I'm trying to make is at the end she realized what the hood had to give up to get what he got, and at the end she makes a deal, right?
With the devil, yeah,
with Mephisto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, what kind of genius are you? You literally spent the whole show literally going through all these tribulations at the cause of the hood, and you know what he had to do to get to that level, and then you go and you get back in that level. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think what you're doing, and I don't want to disagree with you. I love your opinion. I love your take. But I think what you're doing, though, Dan, is when there's an old adage that says, "No greater a fool than a genius who isn't street smart." And what this adage means is because someone has a genius does not make them the know-all, the be-all, that I can apply the specific type of genius in every situation. I worked in a hospital with doctors. Like, you're dumb as a box of rocks.
Yo,
You're a very smart orthopedic surgeon, right? You're very smart at what you do.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's you can't really apply that. You can't walk down my street. You'll get hustled out your socks.
No. I get that piece of what I'm literally saying is in one episode, she frees or she basically relieves Anthony Ramos of the burden of the hood from the character who she even says, "Oh, you must have been the one that gave him the deal." Basically, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, and then literally does a deal with him within 30 minutes.
I think that's two things at play, right? So that's matters of the heart.
Thank you. Emotion is what I was gonna say.
Which has obviously taken its toll on her, but also you've seen that that's the one thing that gets in her way throughout this whole show. That's the biggest thing that gets in her way. And then two, I think it's a certain level of arrogance also, which throughout the show did kind of make her very unlikable, right? So she's gonna she might very well turn out to outsmart Mephisto in the end of all this and prove herself right. But I mean, presented with the same choice, what would we all do? I'm sure there's people that you've lost untimely, and if they were literally in front of you as an AI for however long, and then
where's my $20 you owe me? No,
the option to bring him back, even though it's a deal with the devil.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe. She also doesn't know he's necessarily the devil, right?
Let's keep it real. I'll take it a step further, right? And I'm going to say this: emotion generally and historically obfuscates intelligence. It just does, right? It just you can be the Dr. Doom gives up all of his resources to fight Mephisto for his mother's soul every year. He throws his genius out the window and he does the most ridiculous, outlandish things. He tries to kidnap Franklin Richards. He's making every deal possible because he wants his mother back. And he's much more brilliant than Riri Williams. Listen, we're talking Mephisto. Yeah, we're talking Mephisto. Greater people than Riri Williams have been fooled and tricked and sold their soul and made the deal with Mephisto.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I just go back to that wasn't my hang up. My bigger hang up was just like the overall sequence of events that just make Riri Williams, not Dominique as an actress, but Riri Williams unlikable in this series. Particularly, like there's no breakout. She's going to be a true hero. This is really a downward spiral. Like
there's no heroic moment whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, that was all intentional. She was supposed to be a downward spiral throughout the entire show, I think.
But let me tell you the little things that get to me. These are the little things. I don't like how the characters, his crew was too cool for school. Okay. I didn't like any of that. I didn't like the sisters or the brother sister or the fuck that was. I don't like the fact that they could take out an army of security guards. They got their ass kicked by Riri Williams. Okay. All right. I mean, like they got him. Riri got a punch in. You know, I guess Riri outsmarted them with the watch. I get that.
I'm done. I'm done.
You know, I just not a big. I just wasn't.
I'm so
They
done.
made her seem like
OP.
Here's why I'm done with you, Caesar. And let's talk about it.
Oh, you're
Let's
done with
talk about
Caesar. Got it. Okay.
I love Caesar, but let's talk about it. And I need to ask Caesar why in this particular show you're being so nitpicky, because you really like Endgame. And you can reconcile the fact that Captain America and Black Widow can show up and beat Thanos' Black Guard, where Vision and Scarlet Witch just got the floor, like they mopped the floor with Vision and Scarlet Witch. And here's Captain America and Black Widow showing up, and there's no nitpicky over this.
No, not at all.
But
because it's Captain America and it's Black Widow. They're just two badasses. And I'm just saying in general, they got the drop of those two fools anyways. What I'm trying to say is, this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you really can't compare Cap to Riri. They're the entire origin.
Wait.
What I'm trying to say,
Black Widow has no powers, right? And she showed up and beat the Black Guard, Thanos's warrior, universal world destroying warriors, where they had just mopped the floor with Vision and Scarlet Witch.
Listen, this is what I'm. But this is what I'm trying to say. Riri without her suit. Now, mind you, it's kind of like Iron Man, right? Without the suit, he's just Riri's nothing. She just does like Stark. She's identical to Stark. She's without the suit. She's got the brain, and that's about it, right? She's not fighting. How the fuck did she learn how to?
Without the suit in Iron Man 3, Tony murked some people, right?
I mean,
what I'm trying to say is that Riri doesn't have. Riri doesn't have the tactical skills to fight.
I mean,
that's what I'm trying to say.
I agree with you on that.
Me too.
Hold on. I came in a little late. Did we talk about anything we liked?
I did.
I'm just wondering, like, did we explore like parts of her story, because she had quite the arc over six episodes. Like,
I mean, I you know what I think it is, and Sam, not to cut you off, but I think as I kind of peel this onion a little bit, why do I like Cap? You know, it has nothing to do with the actor per se, although I'm a Chris Evans guy, you know, and that's fine. But I think it's because he starts out as a little guy, he overcomes a lot of adversity, becomes a hero, keeps those characteristics, right, and won't compromise. Right now, it's questionable. Other characters are like Iron Man, not so much, right? Much more of a greedy background. But the problem I have with the MCU is they've kind of went away from that in a lot of series, where like you have these heroes. They're not yet heroes necessarily. They're just like people. They're not really overcoming real challenges anymore. Like I don't think that what Riri was trying to overcome, to anything for her suit, is enough of a challenge to really engage me to want to see her flourish into the soon-to-be hero she is. Like, and that's really kind of where it started. Like, she was selling grades at college to get money for her suit. Then she got kicked out of school. She goes back to Chicago. She's willing to do anything in terms of going into a league with another. She knows the kind of people these people are.
Hold on, Dan. Hold on, Dan. Hold on. Ish, did you get my message?
I didn't.
Okay, can you send? It's in private. It's in the private chat.
Dan, I agree with you. I also think that as we start to move into more modern characters, we're getting more complex origins that aren't as clean as what we saw with the OGs. You know, and I can't necessarily relate to Riri's plight either, but maybe, we've talked about this on the show a lot. Isha said it, maybe it's not for us, that struggle, that she is an individual who got the opportunity because of her intelligence, right? But intelligence only gets you so far. Money is everything in this world. And that's, I think, one of her biggest struggles. She has to hustle to make it. She loses those options. She gets called on it, gets kicked out of school. How do you get the resources in this world to support your genius without maybe doing some things that are a little sketchy? I mean, if any one of us were a genius at that level, how would we get funding to do any of that? I have no clue. We probably wouldn't, because we're not afforded those opportunities. And that's what I think it speaks to where this world is. It's for the elites.
I know, but that's part of the
it's not
problem.
always relatable. I don't think it's relatable.
But
I think Marvel is struggling with relatability, which is why Superman works so well for me.
Yeah, but that's well, and that's fair, right? That's definitely a fair assessment. I think what I'm looking at though is, I don't want to watch the real world in a show, a Marvel or a DC show. I live in the real world, right? Like, I like stories that have underdogs, redemption stories, heroes, villains. Like, I don't, and even if you want to do that with Riri, right? Like, and make her have these challenges, and she do it in an episode or two. But the entirety of the series, what was it, 5 or 6 episodes? Was literally Riri continuing to go down this road of, giving, sacrificing her morals, sacrificing her integrity, all for what? I mean, like, again, I'm fine with it. Like, if you look at Thor's, and I'm going back to the OGs, right? If you look at Thor, he was very pompous, very arrogant. He had to be knocked down a couple pegs till he figured it out. Captain America, not so much. Black Widow, in fairness, doesn't really have any kind of superheroistic powers, but she had to overcome her Red Room background and ended up making the ultimate sacrifice. I mean, there's time and again with this. And I don't know if with Riri, I'm willing to give it 6 episodes to see her constantly snowballing to be a negative force. Like, her name is Ironheart.
True. I do think she's, I mean, when you compare her story and what we saw in these 6 episodes to any of the newer, like anything post Endgame and all these new characters that they've really dove into, I think it is unique,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I agree with you. I don't want to see real world stuff, but there's a way to do it that's better. Like, Superman dealt with real world stuff, and they did it palatable. Marvel, it's a 6-issue it's a 6-issue, a 6-episode series. I don't know how you make it more palatable when it's literally that's what her life is all about.
I don't like the fact that she can see, and we talked about this real quick. You you son of a bitch, here he is.
Del, I'm not spoiling.
Sweet Jesus. Yeah! My God, David.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. Ish had the same issue getting in. I mean, I spent just as much.
I am issue. It's in the name.
Yeah, issue.
Fair.
The issue had an issue. Oh. Issue had an issue getting in, and with the same issue as you did. So I don't know what the hell happened. David, how are you, my man? How are you?
Good. How are y'all?
Yeah. No, it's been a minute. Last time we had David Sanchez in, he was eating the 1 chip challenge, and he took it like a champ. He couldn't shit for the next 3 days, but he took it like a champ. This guy.
Why would you do that?
Off the camera in 1 chip challenge, 1 minute. Off the I'm gone.
I'm not even participating. I'm good.
David did one. David did 1 cough. He did 1 cough, and we're like, and that was it. That's all he did.
I gotta say, David, I told Caesar I wanted to be in the show. I've been wanting to meet you personally, because we kind of have messaged back and forth since like 2021 and never really been able to. So I think it's really awesome opportunity to.
David, in fact, I'm actually on location. Can you open your front door and let me in? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, nice to meet you, David.
I'm great. Nice to meet you guys too, and nice to formally meet you, Ish. And just thank you, Caesar, for not giving up on trying to get me on here. So
I've been trying to get David on since 1987, and he finally
since you didn't watch
accepted.
Oh, that's when I was born.
The year you, the
Don't
year
say
you,
that,
you-
Sam.
the year
I'm
you opted
laying
out
it
of
on
Goonies.
thick tonight, Dan.
You know what? We all know that David. David is here because he's a friend of the show. He's been on our show quite a few times actually.
Mhm.
But this is the first time on 2025 on the comic menu. Oh no, that's not true. That's not true. The comic menu when you were eating the chip. But this guy has some stuff. Listen, this guy has some stuff coming down the pike. If you don't know, you should know David's work.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
I
you.
personally
Appreciate it.
think, in my humble opinion, that I think David is probably one of the best black and white artists, hands down.
Oh,
Hands down. I know, and he's very humble as well
That
too.
Tupac, that
Total
Tupac man,
realism.
that Tupac has got to be like Jock's Joker. It's got to be like one of the all-time, like that Tupac.
That's your breakout work, isn't it? On Department of Truth, that Tupac cover, isn't it?
I was lucky enough that was even a breakout anything. I mean, it's very rare to get one of those types of covers in your career, and I was really blessed to have had that happen so early on in mine. I mean, I've been a professional for 5 years now, and Caesar's been following me, or at least we've been friends for just about the same amount of time, and so he's seen what I've gone through and where I've led to, what started, and where I'm at now. I mean, it's like I said, it's a blessing to even be a part of this industry in this form, and to even have the presence, if I have one. I really don't know if I have one or not, but it's not every day that we get to do what we love to do for a living. So I'm just thankful that they approve such a concept, image, and to have the turnout that it did back then was great. I've been trying to chase that high ever since, and unfortunately, there hasn't been one that I've done that's compared to that one. That one has been my the cover for me. So,
well, I don't know that your biggie was up there, man. That
I love that one. That one was a great one. I didn't have really much input on the image of choice, but it was very challenging to be able to try to bring that to life as best I could. I mean, there are way more talented black and gray artists out there, but to have the opportunity that I did to be able to do that, to try to bring it to that level that this book there brought was it was just very challenging, and I was really happy that the outcome came the way it did.
I've showed this cover to people who don't read comics, who have nothing to do with comics. I showed this cover to people like, listen, you have to see this. When I talk about comics and I talk about the medium, or especially because, at one point in time, you and I talked, and I wanted to do an exclusive cover of Philadelphia with you.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was during the transition which I didn't know, Image was going from Diamond to Lunar.
Yeah.
So it kind of didn't, I wasn't able to get it in time. But when I told people this is the artist I wanted to do the cover, they'd be like, well, show me his work. And I'm talking people who weren't in comics, friends and family or what have you. And I would show them this. And they'd be like, yo, that's not a photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you look at David and you look at his CV and you look at the opinions, and he's categorized like hyper realistic, but there's hyper realistic and then there's like photograph, right? This is, I mean, insane.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That was by far one of the most challenging ones I know. And honestly, it was one of the ones that I should have put a lot more attention to detail in that one than I did, even though
what?
People agree with me.
Look at this.
What? So I got to give you props too, by the way, because I'm from Western New York. I'm from Buffalo, New York. And I have to say that one of the most relevant covers you did for me as someone from Buffalo, New York, and as a collector, was the Katie Wolski cover of Something Is Killing the Children, which, she became Erica Slaughter, and you doing that cover, which you did 2 Katie Wolski covers, but that one, I believe number 15, that first one was it 10 or 15, Sam? It was 15, right?
I believe it was 15. That was my first exposure to David's work, and that took off.
I'm just going to say
Yeah.
David, if I could draw like this, I'd never leave my house. I'd probably like
Yeah.
I'd open the front I'd open the front door and like have to squint. Like I'd never see the sunlight for like like 6 days.
Well, trust me, that's what I do
you-
now. I don't hardly
You look
get
like that now.
So I've never had an opportunity to have a conversation with you and be on with you. And there's some people like Rob and some other people in here who have actually never, it's their first time here. Shout out to my man Rob Nesbaugh and some other people. So I'm just curious, like, what are your inspirations, right? What inspired you? What are some of the things that you like to look at as an artist? Who are some of your influences? You know, you said you only been doing this for 5 years. Like, did you
There it
read
is.
comics?
Big goals.
Are you a comic guy originally, or I know I'm throwing a lot at you. I'm really excited.
No, I come from a very, I don't even come from an artistic background. I come from an athletic background growing up. That's all I did was play sports, and then I would draw just to kill time. I didn't think anybody really cared about my work and didn't like my work. I was just drawing for me to kill time, whether it be at home or at work. It was just something to bring me some kind of solace throughout the day. And when you're going through problems in life, you find that escape, and this was one of them for me. I didn't expect it to turn out the way it did. I mean, it was, it humbled me quite, quickly in the beginning, because a lot of things are happening so fast, but it taught me patience. It taught me kindness. It taught me to be very open to criticism, and it taught me to mature, basically. And so that's a lot of my inspiration comes from the people around me, and the motivating factor for me to keep going with this. I mean, my family always told me I would be doing something with this at some point in my life. And did I think it was going to be comics? No, I honestly didn't think at all. I just so happened to be friends with people that were already in the industry, because I used to love to collect action figures and toys. And I mean, I could pan around my room right now and you'd see a bunch of action figures and sideshows and stuff. But it's that those relationships, turned into them finding out that I could draw, and then with them knowing that, it turned into opportunity, and one cover turned into two, and two turned into three. And then before I knew it, it was just, I'm drawing for the Cowboys. I'm drawing for, I did one DC cover, and which was, to have that opportunity so soon in my career. Most people, it doesn't happen as quickly as that. And I was just incredibly grateful to have that even happen in my lifetime. So
it gets to a point for me that I take screenshots of some of David's work, and I have it on my phone, and I show people who give two shits about comics, and they're like, so what's that, a picture, or what is that? It's like a digital thing. I'm like, no, that's hand drawn, man. And they're like, I don't get it. What do you mean? Because one of the pictures that I have on my phone now is that Bella Lugosi that Dan just showed right now. God damn, David. I mean, the Dracula one. I mean, come on. I'm the fucking. We already know. And David is one of those guys like, I'm not that great. And he lays his head on his bed. And he's like, I'm fucking awesome, man. He just doesn't tell anybody. He lays down. He's like, I'm fucking great. Watch out, because I got more to go.
I admit I can definitely draw. I'm not where I want to be, though. And
that's scary.
Listen, I need
that's scary.
We put him at the bottom.
Hey, David.
I'm just kidding, David.
David, for the Department of Truth Tupac cover, let me ask you. I mean, I get the whole link. Department of Truth is all about conspiracy. Obviously, there's a lot of conspiracy theories around Tupac's death. Was the idea yours to put Tupac on that cover?
No, it was a very close friend of mine, Gary Moy. He's somebody that I can talk to about anything. And as an artist, you sometimes get creatively blocked. You get that creative, that artist block. You can't really come up with anything. So you seek guidance from the ones closest to you, and he's a close friend of mine. Been to my wedding, you know. It's just he's just somebody that you can lean on. And he had this idea of, why don't you draw Tupac? And I thought, there's no way, dude. There's just no way they're going to approve that. Why would they? It has nothing to do with the story. You know, why would they even think to allow me to do that? So I basically just found the image that you saw that I drew, and I took the little stylus on my phone, because I had the cool little note, and I just turned the red ink on, and I just did a half-ass like X over the face and sent it in for approval. And they said, "Are you going to draw it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to draw it." "Well, let me see you draw it first." And so I started drawing it, and I kid you not, I was at a show drawing it in the middle of a whole crowd at a convention, drawing that cover.
People had to be losing their shit.
One person who was close to me saw that I was drawing Tupac, and I wasn't even done with the eye, and he bought it before I was even finished.
He bought the original.
That's incredible.
And I submitted as a progression to Image, and they said yeah. So never expected it to turn out the way it did. I honestly, to this day, it's still, like I said, I've been trying to chase that feeling again since then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping.
You know, it's interesting because we've talked about this many times on the show, David, but I'm going to ask you again because this is a whole new set of people here. When you first came out with this and you told me straight out, yeah, people didn't think I drew it. Right.
No.
Do you still get that? Like, you didn't draw that shit, right? You probably took a picture and just kind of traced it, and yeah, whatever.
I get it. I had it worse back then.
Oh yeah,
it was several years ago. But I, at this point in my life, because I've done another Tupac cover as for Tidal Wave. It's more playful now, as opposed to more as opposed to serious and intense and being ridiculed for Photoshop and plagiarism and all that stuff. So, you know, I submitted something that I thought was great, and did I expect them to accept it? I had 2 other concepts ready to go just in case. So I didn't even
what were the other ones? Can you talk about them or no?
Can we put those other ones into a cover?
Did they become a cover at some point?
One of them did. It was the one I did for New York Comic-Con years later, and a little kind of sneak preview, or at least not a sneak preview. I can't show you guys anything, but I'm actually working on the next Department of Truth #0.
Oh, you are? I was going to ask you because literally I was inclined. We started doing covers, and I'm like,
you want to do
man, I want to see Elvis with the same thing, bro.
So
yeah, we talked about that. You did say that.
I was like, I want to see David Sanchez do a photorealistic Elvis with that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I wasn't lucky enough to get enough like a phone call, but I had an opportunity to do the exclusive myself, and so I went ahead and took it upon myself to reach out to Image, and thankfully I have the support system that I do that was able to allow me to do it on my own, and so I'll be doing my own exclusive with Image, my first artist exclusive with Image.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'll be doing Department of Truth #0, and Elvis is definitely involved in it.
Yes.
So. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's gonna be so fire.
Was this the other one? I'm trying to see if I find it, but you said the other one that was a New York Comic-Con one. Was it this one?
Hold on, let me show. Hold on.
This was actually New York Comic-Con Tupac. Yeah, that was the new Tupac for the.
That's Bishop.
Yeah, basically. I had gotten a lot of
a movie called Juice.
Juice, love that movie. I always draw this remark.
Caesar doesn't know, so you know.
Oh, come on, fool! You don't got the juice. What's wrong with you?
That's the worst ending ever in a movie. You got the juice now, man. Love the movie.
The juice
with the
now.
ending. You got the juice.
Last
now,
Ronin was my first and has been my only Ninja Turtle cover, which I'd love to do another one, but I was just reading the comments here. But no, that cover was, that Tupac was by far the most real. That was probably several steps above the first Tupac I did. Like that could probably not get any realer.
Can I tell you? I mean, this I think this must have been a commission, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This, whoever got this commission, I mean, that is stunning. That is absolutely stunning.
I've got that one.
You know, the funny thing is that people don't realize, that David does color. You know, he's not a one-trick pony with the black and white people. I mean,
David, my question for you, I guess, is, so you mentioned earlier, like, you're not where you want to be yet. What do you mean by that? Do you mean in your art style? Do you mean where you are within the industry? Does it mean the projects that you're taking on? Like, what is it? What goal do you have set for yourself a couple of years down the line? And what work are you doing currently towards that? Because I'm interested in the evolution that you've taken. I love watching your work from when I first saw it with Erica Slaughter to what you've been doing. But what do you mean by that? You're not where you are, or where do you want to be?
My goals have progressed to being in I want to say in my own personal level of try, even though you say you would disagree with me by me saying this, but hyperrealism in its most intense form is the goal for me artistically. Hyperrealism. I'd love to transition into color work. From a personal standpoint, I am always looking to progress, even if I have gotten the opportunities that I have. And although I am grateful for them, I want my work to hopefully earn more down the road. And when that time has come, obviously the end goal I think would be to work on a Marvel title. That would be great, but it's not the end all be all for me. It's a goal, and I really want to try to reach that at some point. But what I'm doing to achieve that is just, I try to keep my head down. I try to stay focused on what I'm doing. I don't want to lose the love I have for this. I hate when it becomes a job, and I want it to be just a way for me to be able to take care of my family and focus on them. But I know, as speaking to another artist, I'm sure we would all say we want to be remembered and all that stuff, and then have some kind of progression to that level of a Marvel or a DC title. But honestly, I'm just hoping to be able to continue this for as long as the industry allows me to be a part of it. And hyperrealism is that goal for me, getting to that point. This is not there yet.
So
I truly appreciate that response, David. And I am astonished at the level of hyperrealism. Obviously, as an artist, like, I was a very amateur artist way back when, but like, I know how hard you can be on yourself, but know that, you've got 4 people who will sing your praises here. And I'm sure a huge fandom out there who is just cheering you on. I'm excited that you're getting into the self-publishing aspect. I think that puts a big, like, light on your work when you're doing a DOT number issue 0, like, that's a whole nother ball game. And that's exciting too. Have you,
well,
I guess, have you thought about what that next foray is? Because if you start doing your own, then you have more creative control over what you're making. You said you wanted to get into more color stuff. One of my favorite pieces that you did actually wasn't photorealistic. It was the 8 Billion Genies.
Really?
Because it's such a stark contrast from what you've done. So I think there's more to, like, that side of your work too, that maybe you haven't even tap the, you know.
No, you make
yet,
a good point.
you know?
It's always the cover I never wanted to do that turns out to be the one that catches.
Of course.
I think that's
Yeah,
the
you know,
thing. I think
it's
that's the thing when it comes to like our art and the things that people you never expect. And you know, I've done that. You know, and some of the things that I've created as a writer, right? It's the thing that I don't expect people to take to, that they take to, and then you like you'll do this thing, and you're like, yo, this is the one. And it's not. It's the other thing. It's the other thing that people take to. But out of curiosity, though. And this is something that I generally ask. It's a generic question, but this is something I'm curious because you and I have talked, right? And I wanted to specifically do a Philadelphia cover with you, which I was actually thinking while I was in my car today that, okay, so it's on hiatus, it's coming back. Maybe I still have time, you know what I mean? Because it's on hiatus. But the reason why I wanted to do that cover with you is because one, you were excited about it. We talked about this hyper realism, right? Like the hyper realism absolutely fits that particular title. And you know, and I remember when we talked, and I was like, listen, sometimes I tell Caesar, and I said this to Sam, like, you know, there was a time period where I didn't even know if this guy was real because you're so genuine, right? Like when I message
there's a myth.
it's like, hey man, you know, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And it's so genuine when you say it though, you know what I mean? Thank you so much for reaching out to me and considering me. And you can just tell, like it's not a one-word response. Like it's a real,
so much going on
interaction. So what I wanted to get to, and that's why I wanted to do that with you, one, hyper realism, but I just remember you said to me, I said, you know, okay, this is David Sanchez. I've seen your work. I think it's really awesome. I'm the type of person, like, if you're going to do this, I'm just going to let you use your artistic license. And you were like, no, man, like, let's sit down and figure something out. And let's do the best thing we can do together, which I thought was really cool. So my question is really quickly, I'm sorry. And it's a generic question. Okay. Have you ever considered, I always ask every artist this, have you ever considered, and can you even, have you ever considered like interior work or, you know, going beyond just, not that you have to, because you're so good, you don't have to, right? You can just do covers forever. You already have that magnum opus, right? With Tupac, which is going to be memorable. We're never, as a comic fans, every comic collector here can tell you, that is an iconic cover that no one will ever forget. It will go down, especially for exclusives. It will go down as one of the all-time great exclusives. Period. It's there. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, that's a loaded question because the interior artwork, just to answer that real quick, I've tried that in the beginning of my career, and I think the biggest obstacle or the biggest challenge was trying to tell a story and be well versed enough to be able to do that and not feel handicapped because, you know, there's only so many positions or takes or angle. If I was a director, I would love, I think, and as well as an artist, I think I would be just unstoppable in my opinion. I mean, that's just, if I'm directing a scene and I'm able to convey that in an illustration, it's just dangerous for me, you know, just to be able to put that on paper, just like I think it's Federici. I can't pronounce his name. Please forgive me if I mispronounce it, but I'll have to show you after our chat. But that's, to answer your question also, or at least add on to that, I don't really, I'm always chasing that bigger, that, like I was telling you earlier, that high that I received from that cover. And I have done other stuff after that. It just follows me wherever I go. And I'm happy and I'm grateful for that. But the goal is to do better, if that makes any sense. I mean, I'm just, not to add confusion to it or anything like that. Just, you got me thinking. And I think when we had that conversation, you're to add also to that, you gave me an opportunity. I don't know if you realize that you gave me an opportunity, and to sit there take that away from you by taking all the artistic freedom and take, from you and not allowing you to have any input and any say in what it would look like is, to me, that's wrong. You gave
it's
me
like a selfish. It's like a selfish act, right?
It's very selfish, and not to say that's. I mean, more power to the person that does that, but you gave me an opportunity to continue to do what I love to do for a living. So of course, I want you to be involved in that. I want you to know that I'm grateful for everything that you're doing for me, because it's a big responsibility to take on this much, because these books cost money. You got to make X amount of money. You do need to turn around, at least break even at the very least. And that's my goal, is to make sure that you do that, is that you at least break even, because you're giving me, if it does well, then that means we get to do more together. Yep.
I mean, I still want to work with you. And that, that's so awesome, because my thoughts were, and I'm going to just keep it real with you, because it's weird, right? It's kind of like, that old story where the girl cuts her hair to get the guy the guitar pick for Christmas, and he sells the guitar pick to get the girl the gift for her hair, for Christmas. And where I'm sitting at, I'm like, yo, this guy is awesome. This is an amazing opportunity for me. And as a former, person who, I've dabbled with art, and I'm a writer and a creator, I always say, when you're dealing with the right person and the right creator, like, walk away.
Yeah.
Let them do, what they would do. And like, trust that process. You know what I mean? I never want to stifle somebody's creativity with my own perhaps ineptitude in a given situation.
Yeah, but that's probably like the Tupac cover, right? Like when he sent that off and they go, "Are you going to draw that?" It was not even in their periphery, like to draw Tupac and make that cover. And then they get it and they're like, "Holy crap, what an idea!" So yeah, don't stifle the creators. Let them be creative, because next thing you know, you get a fucking diamond out of it.
But there's also that balance, right? So, Ish can say, David, I'm just thinking, maybe he's flying off a mountain and you can see like some wings growing from it. And you're like, yeah, and you're like, that's a go. And then you add all your artistry to it, all your creativity to it, but it's his sort of concept, but with all your shit in it, right? Sometimes and that's a collaboration. You need a little path to go. Got it, right?
I need a foundation to build on, and I can give me a floor. I'll build the walls and the roof. I'll take care of the rest. And so that's, in that respect, I definitely agree with you there. I would. My whole approach at the time of our call was really to make sure that you were involved in it as much as possible, rather than just saying, here's, whatever you need to get started. I didn't even want to get paid until after I was done.
I wanted to pay you up front. You're like, no, I wanted to give you like, oh, that's it. Okay, here. I'll pay you now. And you were like, no, wow.
No. Because there's so many things, obviously, life changes, life happens.
That's right.
And to have your money tied up in me when that could go towards something else, or if a situation occurs just like what happened, I mean, then we're not, you're good. It's no worries, you're taken care of. I'm happy.
Ish, you can send me money though.
We can continue to do something down the road. It doesn't have to be, the next issue or anything like that. But it's like I said, I keep going back to it. It's a blessing to be able to get the phone call in general to say, hey, you want to do this? You want to be the artist? Of course.
David, I think you're so humble, and it's just so refreshing, but you're a talent. It's undeniable, man. You're just such a talent. I got to ask you a really hard question. It's going to be very difficult. Did you see the Superman movie?
No.
No.
God dang it, David.
This guy barely has time to watch Three's Company, let alone the fucking Superman movie.
You gotta see the movie.
Around here for like, I think, how long, man? Like
why Three's Company though? Why is Three's Company at the top of your?
Because you know what? I tell you what. Because I'm going to share a secret. David and I get together every Friday night and we watch about 10 episodes each. So this is the thing. David, did I see you at MegaCon? Were you there?
I had an opportunity to be there. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it.
You couldn't make it
because you were at the Regal Beagle.
You gonna be at New York, David?
You were at Three's Company.
I always have the worst luck with getting a table in New York. I apply every year and I get denied. It's just
Isn't that
Where?
weird?
it's a
Where'd you say?
New
tradition.
York, NYCC.
I was there with Captured
Yo,
Collectibles and
what
Nomos.
you need to do is walk in with the Tupac cover.
Wear it around your.
Like, well, hold fast.
wear-
Wait a minute. I'm getting
you gotta
denied.
wear it
Tupac
around
cover
like
here. They would
like
No,
Flavor
right in-
Flav around
No,
your
I-
neck,
I-
like Flavor Flav.
I enjoyed that show. It was great. It was, shout out to those guys for allowing me to be there with them and be a guest, and for them, giving me the outlet to share my work with people there. Especially a lot of folks that do follow me are from New York, so it was great to catch up with those guys and just be there. But I always try to get my own table every year I apply, and
That's weird.
it's a tradition at this point to get that denial.
I'll keep my ear to the ground. Like, I know a couple of shops, I think, setting up. So if there's any opportunity, one, to do any covers, or two, to set up with them,
I'd be honored. I mean, I'm
thinking about, you got DOT coming out the month before. If you did some like AP editions with some sweet remarks or whatever, that could be cool. Like a cool, like, con only, like, let's go get it,
I did get a pretty sweet Boom solicitation just recently, so
yes,
Who the hell are these people?
I saw
Who the
that.
hell are these people
I'm
denying you, David?
kind of intrigued with what I saw on that list. I don't
Right?
know.
Yeah.
That last title on the list there, I don't know if you remember.
Very
that.
Yeah.
Very
Boom was like, we're at Penguin Random House. Let's kick the door open. We got all these exclusive opportunities, and they just dropped a list. And
I'm very much going to reach out to Mr. Hopkins.
Who the hell denies David from New York Comic Con?
I you know what? It's
the East Coast, West Coast thing, bro.
It's an
You're Dallas, though. You're Dallas, right?
I'm Dallas, and it goes back to the earlier question. This is what I was talking about, to get to that level to where that I'm not there yet. I still haven't done enough to prove that I belong or am able to have that opportunity at a show of that magnitude, or even a San Diego Con. I'm just not there yet. I don't
agree. And I'm going to tell you something. This is an idea. 100% of the time, this idea works 50% of the time. So just think about this. You're a hyper realistic artist. Draw.
Put him at the bottom.
Listen to me. Don't shut me up. This is true. The way David draw the people that do New York Comic Con in compromising photos. Draw it. And we'll think it's a photo. Just put them out in the crowd.
Get to the bottom.
You
Put
gotta
them
threaten them, David. You
No.
gotta threaten them.
Photoshop.
hyper realistically too. Make it
And he's
hyper real.
gone.
Make it hyper real too, Dave. Like
Right.
really.
No.
Dan's the worst. You should, as a matter of fact, you should draw him doing some shit he doesn't want to be doing. That's
There
what
you go.
he should do. I booted his dumbass with his dumbass ideas. That's what I do.
That's the next
You know what it
commission.
You know what it is, right?
It has to be on a Superman blank.
You fuckers.
We'll get you a Superman blank, and you'll draw Dan in some compromising position.
I'll be the
You know-
Ram. But I
The-
think
the
the
reason
bottom
why-
line is, David,
the-
don't ever let him hear you're not worthy. You are. What made those shows are the creators, not the other way around. The fact that they're being exclusive and shutting people out is horseshit.
I'm gonna say what it is, David. I feel like, and you don't ever have to say it because I know you're really humble and you don't have to co-sign it. So I'm gonna say it. I feel like they know who
Jesus, you
David is,
bastard.
and they're afraid to let him in the door. Like you right outside. They know you on the porch.
Right?
They know,
No,
like, yo,
man.
he's knocking, man. It's like what Jay-Z said about 50 Cent to the whole industry. It was like, yo, y'all need to get y'all hits out now because 50 is coming. Like you need to drop whatever hit. Y'all got a year. Y'all need to get them out because dude is coming. They know, man. They know you're standing on the porch. They know you knocking on the door. They know. They're like, yo, man. This guy's outside. He's not.
What other shows have you tried? Have you tried Terrificon or Baltimore or anything like that?
I have
Because
tried.
in fairness, New York Comic Con is not a huge. I mean, it's a big show, but it's not a huge comic show. There's way bigger comic shows.
I've tried several shows. I did try Heroes Con this year. I would have had an opportunity to be there. I did do an amazing project or collaboration with the DJ Links and the Comics Cure and Cancer team, and that book did really, really well. I was very shocked and honored that it produced the amount of revenue that it did towards the towards the charity that they had going on, and I honestly did not expect it to be a cover. The DJ told me, but I didn't think it was going to be like this, and I was just completely shocked with the outcome and how it looked. And actually, I did the color work on that one too. So that was something that I was really proud of. He marketed that book like crazy. Lou Ferrigno got his hands on it, even though I've met Lou once or twice, and his agent is a friend of mine. So we were able to. It was funny. I wish I could share that video that he did. But I've tried to get into Heroes. I want it as an artist. I've tried. It's so hard. I have to wait for the emails, and then by the time I get a response back, it's like build up. And then I've tried getting into WonderCon. His hands on it, even though WonderCon is definitely one of those shows I'd like to do. But I've done LA Comic Con. I've done New York. I'd love to do Terrificon. That'd be great. I've done Amazing Las Vegas. I don't know if you've been there. I've been there pretty much almost every year except for 2 of the last 5. And I can't really think of any other shows that San Diego Comic-Con would be intense, but I feel like it's not like comic book related.
Not anymore.
It's like NYCC, it's everything pop.
It would just be a bucket list thing. I think for me, just to even be there as a fan would be cool. I think I would just go as a fan, honestly. But I mean, I really would like to go to, some of those shows that really are kind of tough to get into. But New York has always been the show that I'd like to try to get into. I just apply for fun at this point. And if I can, great.
I have a quick 2-part question. Really quick.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite cover that you did? And who's your favorite cover artist not named David Sanchez? So
my favorite cover that I've done as of late was working with Maleficent is her name.
What?
But it was
wait. You did a Maleficent cover?
No. I did a cover.
I love
cosplay model. Her name was Maleficent, but it was Vampirella. I love Vampirella. The Vampirella I did with her, and you just showed it not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
That is my favorite cover that I've done.
That's the one where she's kind of like crossing her arms. And
right.
Right.
I love that cover. And
who's the cover artist that you look at and you're like, wow, man, that's that guy or that girl. That like, wow.
Well,
that's not named David Sanchez.
Cover artist would be Lucio. Lucio and Alex Ross are my. Alex Ross is.
Yep.
Master.
I see a lot of. You know what? I see a lot of Alex Ross in you. I see a lot of you and Alex Ross because of that realism. Alex Ross was the first cover artist that I started getting back into it. He was the first artist that I think it was the Marvel's cover, right, where the Human Torch is landing, and people are like
Marvel's
doing one of
Hero.
these. And I had those, and I would stare at that cover because I'm like, I love how he draws the way people would really truly react if they were to see this guy on fire walking, right? And seeing Angel flying, they're kind of looking up. There's something about his art that's just like yours. It's just, there's so much emotion, so much lines and frowns, and it speaks. If it could speak, it could speak.
It was with the work he did on the Beatles, or the Yellow Submarine. It was just seeing that was just the way he uses one primary color and builds it within that color, and it just, you can't help but stare at it. And I want my work to be that way in some way, shape, or form. Just like, I want you to look at it and just stop, and then stop and just look at it for like 20.
Can we put Dell? Can we put Dell?
That comment.
Can we put Dell?
I'm just
Put Dell at the bottom.
Oh, please.
On what blank?
David-
Del, what title?
Dell moved to New Mexico, and I mean,
I don't even know what he's.
I don't even listen to him. So what I started thinking about MegaCon, David, because I could have sworn I saw you there, but must have been the other Latin guy sitting.
Well, we were trying to meet at MegaCon last year.
Okay, that's what it was last year, and I don't even know what happened. All right, so this is the thing. When you said,
by the way,
I'm doing fine, my man. I'm doing all right. I'm here with you guys. That's all that matters. The thing is that you talking about 8 billion genies, how you're like, it's one of my least favorite covers, and look what happened. I hear that
I
cover.
think it's dynamic.
The reason why I bring this up,
that cover, I was offered that cover 6 times
Really?
by 4 different retailers.
Wow.
And I refused to draw that cover because I just felt like it wasn't challenging enough. And the last person that offered me was the person that asked me twice to do it. And the minute he came back with, I want to do it based off of the movie Big.
Yeah,
I want to do it based off of that machine that, and I'm like, oh my God. Okay, let's do it. Let's try. So I admit I put a lot of work into that, more than I thought I would ever have to. But when I gave the work to Sean Lee and let him do the color work on it, there's something wrong with him. He's just he's amazing.
Did you find that piece a little freeing though, because you didn't need to try to rely so much on dialing in on photorealism?
What up, George?
You had a canvas to play with and just an homage to do.
I think I'm more upset at the fact that how much fun I had drawing it. I think I'm more because I hated it so much that I had fun drawing it. And it was
the cover. I just love drawing your dumb, dumb cover.
Like I'm sitting there, if I could make the emoji straight eyes, straight mouth, just drawing it, looking at the person asking me. I just hated I hated the idea of me drawing that. Not that I hate the story or the character or anything. I love that, but it was just so really, I can't draw a shadow. I can't make it look 4D, 3D, whatever I can do. I didn't think I could do it, basically, is what I'm getting at. I didn't think I could draw it. And I had fun. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's kind of
another section for you to explore.
Yeah.
I personally think it's one of the most striking of the 8 billion genies.
Oh no,
we're just gonna watch Dell
store exclusives
alter egos
that have come out
and compliment himself.
No. Seriously though, because you hear so much, so many accolades from folks about the photorealism, but for that, because it's so different, it stood out to me because I go, well, who did this? And I go, David Sanchez. Wait, what? And it makes me go, okay. So now
he could do a
Twig completely cover. Different sector of your work, and that is cool.
Start on Twig.
We're gonna get on a Twig and Twig Land Shark.
Yeah, I just think it opens up a whole nother avenue of potential cover work that you could do. And like Ish just said, a Jeff the Land Shark, bro. Right. That could be.
I hate Fairyland. Let me stop.
I tried not to do. I think it was. I had offered probably not as much as I did on 8 billion genies, but Twig was definitely an offer.
Everybody was doing Twig.
And I think that's what stopped me from doing it was because there were so many out there. And then
same with 8 billion genies. You were like,
what I did with Twig. I love Scotty Young, but Twig was.
Yeah, I love his work, and I'm a competitor.
Well, you didn't like the story?
I didn't know nothing about Twig.
I loved it. It was cute.
Yo, stop!
Not for you, Ish. It's not for you.
It's just there was so many being done.
You didn't like it either, Sam.
I didn't like it, but the book wasn't for me either.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, the reason why I brought this up, David, is because I was talking to John Jang, right, at MegaCon, and he has that Doom cover, right?
Oh yeah.
And I said, John, I just love this fucking cover. He goes, you know what? I hate this cover.
What is wrong with Dell?
And that's why I brought when you brought up 8 billion genies, because he's like, I hated doing this cover. I hated it.
Man,
And it's like, there you go, right? And so it's one of those things that the covers that you're like, I hate doing this, and ends up being like one of those things. And you're like,
I try to take it a step further every single, because you have to take it a step further every cover. I mean, you can't just, you have to progress. You can't go backwards, and you have to do bigger and better every project. So I just felt like that was
Brandon.
I felt like that was gonna be like one of those covers that, okay, I had looked at this stupid coin operating machine, this stupid thing. I was in Vegas, and I literally was stopped because I almost ran right into one of these machines in real life. And I'm like, I really have to draw this thing. Like, I almost call them and say, hey, I'm gonna, can we do something else? Like, I'm sorry, but I just gave it a shot, and I didn't really think. I think it's because I didn't care what people thought after I put this out. As long as it made the person giving me the opportunity happy, that's all I care about. I want them to be happy, and if they're happy with it, then I'm happy with it. If nobody likes it after the fact, well, was my idea. Like, I mean, it wasn't my idea, But no, all in all, just like if I were to work with Ish on another project, as long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters to me. And so, because you're paying me to do something, bring something of yours to life, and I want you to love it. That's all I care about.
Let's talk about the biggest, not the biggest, but let's talk about the latest drop that you just did. Here we go. We got Big Rig. This is Post Malone's new book that he's dropping, right?
Yeah.
And so tell me what you think about this. Did you love the experience? Did you love painting this? What were you thinking? I love the black and red, the little highlights, right? I mean, I dig it. So tell me about this.
It was fun. I mean, I got a message from Slabulous. They wanted me to be a part. They've asked me to do a cover. I can't tell how many times. I can't remember how many times, but we tried to work on something together, but the timing was never there. And when he gave me this opportunity, I thought, well, it's Post Malone. Why not? And so I looked into it, and I looked at the details in the concept art, and I looked at what was given to me from Vault, and I thought that there's something here. I mean, I want to try something. I originally wanted to do like a post-apocalyptic semi just coming straight at you, and then he's standing in front of it, and there's demons coming from left and right, and he's just staring at you because you are his focus. And but when you talk about covers that really would have upset me, it would have been doing a concept like that, because it was just like 8 billion genies all over again. It was just like going way out of my comfort zone and just taking me to a place where I was just going to get angry. I was going to throw it away, scrap it. But when we fell into this one, he originally was supposed to be posed like this, standing in front of the semi. And they gave me an opportunity to, they sent them off to the Vault, and Vault loved this one. Because he thought, well, why don't you just get rid of the rig? Why don't you just focus on him? Why don't you just, it's about him, the holy trucker. Let's go ahead and you go with him. And I'm like, okay. So they came back and said, we love this. And honestly, I fell in love with the look after the fact. And then, of course, Sean coming in and just killing it with the color work. I mean, just adding more values to my shadows, taking everything just completely to that next level with the background. This isn't what the OA looks like. The OA looks different, but when he took over, it made it so much more. And I'm just so happy that he was able to do that with this piece.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Post Malone's watching, I'm sorry, Post, I'm still not going to read it. The thing is
an
that
interesting story, though. It's actually
really I was going to find out.
I was going to find the story is interesting. Is that it's a way better book than you expect coming from Vault. It's like it's phenomenal.
Hold on, but
Art,
that's
like
that's my
everything.
question. I need to know the back. So what's the story
Well,
about?
if you're a fan of like Castlevania, this is not. It's kind of like that, but not. But it's basically like hell is invading Earth, and I think that character is like a priest or something. It's like a knight or a priest or something fighting hell, basically.
It's,
Right.
it's really good. I read it today.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, he was essentially a
Sorry,
black.
Dan.
No, there's
Oh
So David, you're at Vault now.
no, I'm a freelance artist. So if I get to do an opportunity, if they were reaching out to do something, I've been approved by them, but I'm not like a Vault.
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No,
Really,
I mean it's
congratulations.
and I say that to every single artist that we have on the show. To feed your family, doing what you love to do is an absolute blessing. 100%. You know, it's you live the dream because you love you're getting paid to do what you love. And the
Right.
minute, and you named it, David, the minute it starts
gonna
becoming
come
a
back to the
chore,
beard.
the minute it becomes a chore, the minute it becomes like, I don't know, man, I don't know if I want to. That's when you're like, uh-oh. You either, what do you think? Do you think you would have to take a step back and take a breather, or maybe recharge? Has that happened to you where you're just like, I'm tired, man. I can't, I don't want to draw anything for just a little bit.
I've done that and recently, and it's been very therapeutic for me to be able to just not have to stay in and do the next big, popular cover.
Mhm.
I get to take my time and focus on things that I really want to work on, and having the opportunities to be a freelance artist, and if publications reach out, wanting to do something, or a retailer would love to work with me on something, I can address it and just say, hey, let's see what's there with it, and if I get a connection to it, then having that freedom of choice now, as opposed to just saying yes to everything like I did in the beginning, is a blessing, and I'm really happy that I'm able to get to that point and be able to hopefully do my own and continue to do my own as well, moving forward in the future. But I really did recently have to take a break from doing crazy amounts of covers, because leading into New York Comic Con last year was very, in my opinion, it was very stressful. I was working nonstop, just trying to make sure I can meet deadlines and hopefully get everything in time for the show, because it was a big moment, and I wanted to make sure that it went well for those guys that gave me the opportunity, and thankfully it did. I hope it did. I feel like it did, and it was a great opportunity for me to be there for the first time and just have that experience. But yeah, there's times I just want to take a break, but
It's needed. It's needed. I mean, sometimes you just, we all have for those creatives, I consider myself a creative in different venues, and you just don't, nothing's flowing. You just can't do it. Right. You're like, maybe I just got to not do anything or even think about it for a couple of days and just watch TV, be with the family, with the wife, with the kids. And then all of a sudden we're in the middle of nowhere. You're going to be like, I got it. Now I know what I want. Okay. I'm on it. Right. Then it becomes fury. All of a sudden your hands don't fucking stop. It's like it's a blur.
It's one of those feelings that you can honestly, you feel it, you'll know it when it happens. And before you know it, days have gone by. It's been night and day outside, and you're several weeks older now, and you have to go to the restroom, you forget you have to eat. It's just, there's times where you just kind of focus on that, and but there are times where you just need to take those couple days off, or a week, for that matter. So
What's that one character you have yet to draw that you're just dying to do, man?
I would love to draw Spawn. I would love to be able to. I was hoping our first project that we were going to work on together was going to have Spawn incorporated with it, but that's one character I'm just really dying to draw. And then Swamp Thing honestly is next for me.
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
I would think I shit you not, David. I think you doing Swamp Thing, I think you would fucking kill it because
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Swamp Thing is so detailed with
Mhm.
every single line and all. I'm looking at him right now. Just to do it, just to bust up. Oh
Right.
my god, that would just be insane. And
I've been,
I'm pretty sure you get excited with those kind of concepts.
man, there was a period of time where we tried to do that. It's just an extensive approval process, and you know, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy to be able to be put in that position to hopefully get approved. But it's definitely one of those characters where I would literally just draw it just for fun, and just, you know, I will treat it like it's a cover if I had to. But I would love to draw that as an actual cover, character as an actual cover.
If I ever run into you at a show that's a commission, I'll be like, hey, that's what we're doing. Let's do some Swamp Thing.
I would love to do that, man. It would be an honor to draw that for you.
I think for me, I would love for you to draw Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider is one of my favorites. I can draw that.
You can get down with some Ghost Rider with the detailed
Ghost Rider,
skull and the
Spider-Man, Spawn, Swamp Thing. I mean, those are characters that are just. There's some characters that you don't even have to look at a reference.
Yeah.
You just, it's all in your
it's
head.
burned. It's burned in your mind. Well, I would think someone like Ghost Rider is easy, right? You're basically going to draw a skull with the flames on it.
Now you have to take it a step further and focus on offsetting lights, the second and third lighting. Now you want to add depth. You want to have a background. You want to do that out of focus effect, or you want to draw embers up close. You know, you just want to change it every single time. I mean, drawing skulls I hate drawing skulls. But I love drawing skulls.
You hate drawing it, but you love drawing it.
Because my first cover was a homage. My very first cover was a homage to The Walking Dead 100. And it was, you know, he's standing on top. Rick Grimes is standing on that hill of bodies. And as you get closer to the viewer, there's like up close detail, and you can see all the different characters from the book. I did that, but I did that in skulls. And I spent weeks drawing skulls, and I just I'm never drawing a skull again. And then sure enough, I draw skulls. 10,000.
You know what's funny? Well, you probably get an idea in your head and you can't abandon it. I've got to get done with this.
No, 10,000 black feathers was a giant skull in front of your face. It was.
I got that one.
I want to see like something extremely mechanical, like a machine type thing, because the amount of detail I can just imagine that you would put into like a Galactus helmet or a Death's head or like Anti-Monitor from like DC, like that could be some wild shit.
You know what would be a cool commission? I might message you for it. I don't know if you're even taking commissions. I would love to see you do an RC from Transformers.
There you go.
A Transformers.
Yeah,
Transformers would be insanely cool for me.
Have you ever done a Transformers?
I've tried. The opportunity just never came to fruition. Unfortunately, I've been asked, but there was something that kind of kept it a scheduling issue, or they changed their minds and went a different route.
Your level of detail, I see exactly where Sam is going in his head. Like I can almost envision it. Like
I see wires. Like I want like Starscream ripping like battle with Megatron. They're ripping off pieces. You got wires and everything going on.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I want two characters on one cover. I want Skeletor and Mumra.
Skeletor would be
and Mumra.
And Mumra.
Like David Sanchez, Skeletor, Mumra, one cover.
I would love to draw. What Dark Horse does He-Man right now, don't they?
I'm DMing you. We got to do.
They have the license for
I'm gonna DM you.
Or like you know, like the amount of detail that you could put into a Battle Beast cover.
Oh, I wanted to draw that so bad.
No.
I should have.
There was a time there where everyone was drawing Battle Beast, right?
Yeah,
I just found the level of like fur detail and like it would be so vicious.
I was praying I would have gotten a phone call about that. I never did. And
Cyborg Superman, yeah.
I just, I saw that the amount of covers that were coming out, and I just felt like, you know what, I really should try this, but I just never got the opportunity. And I'm hoping that down the road, maybe someone will allow me to draw that for them for a cover, but or I may do it myself down the road at some point. But I just, at the time, it was just it happened so fast, you know, like everybody started to come out with their own, and I was like, man, this is even doing number 2s and 3s, and I'm like, okay, well, I need.
It's scary. It's scary too. Like, we just started doing covers, and you run the risk of oversaturation. And how does that impact your ability, like you said, to break even? Because that's the point, right? And it's intimidating.
It is, and to be, I'm a very competitive person when it comes down to it, but I honestly respect it. There's a respect level that I have with it, and if I'm going to do something, I want to make sure that whoever's involved in it with me does see a return of some kind, because I mean, you could have asked anybody to do this, but you asked me, so I want to make sure that you get the most out of it and take it to that level. But that's just the way I think.
That's such an incredible attitude. Like, as we've reached out to artists for, we only have 2 under our belt, with a third coming, and just talking to artists, there's so many different attitudes about that. Like, for instance, like we went to collab with someone just on a release, and they were like, well, you paid for the artwork and that's it. That's fine. If that's part of it, whatever. But wouldn't share, wouldn't do anything. It was interesting. So to hear that come out of someone as reputable as yourself, saying like, I want the shop who's partnering with me to be as successful. Like, it's awesome to hear.
No, I mean, like I said, you're the reason why we get to keep doing what we do, and you're the reason why. I mean, obviously we have to do the work too, but so there's that mutual connection meeting in the middle there. But there's, without both of us meeting in that middle, we don't grow.
David, let me ask you, if you weren't an artist, I know you said you had a sports background. If you didn't go into art, what would you have done?
I would have just been a normal person, like what I was doing before. I was
working part of the bloodline in WWE.
I was working in construction prior to becoming an artist, and working with the construction equipment, basically. I probably would have still been doing that.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, there's part of me that really, we have to make adjustments in our lives to be able to get our family to that next level, whatever that is. And I've recently had to make that adjustment to be able to accommodate our goals for my wife and I, our future. And that's something that I'm taking very seriously. And but I respect anybody that can be able to handle both of those types of roles, whether it be them working full time and doing this full time, or doing this full time and that's it. If you can manage that, because that's the biggest struggle really that I've come across growing in this business, is like, you are a company, you are your own company.
Yeah.
You have to be able to manage your time, and that's been my Achilles heel, and still is to this day, is time management, making sure that at first when I was doing these, I was, if you can't do it, it's okay. It's okay. And I didn't respect it, but I do now. And I have been showing that respect by making sure that you get the most out of the return that you're putting into me. Because you're investing in me and my future. You're putting that faith in me.
Right.
So I make sure I give everything I have to every project, but we always have to make adjustments in our lives to be able to accommodate, to be able to do.
You're one of the most considerate creators I've ever met in my life. Is your wife artistic too?
My God, it's refreshing.
I don't mean to be that,
No. I mean, I'm not knocking. I so appreciate it. Like, I mean, it's awesome.
No, this is something that I never expected to be doing. I just expected to be a normal person. I mean, I still feel like I'm just a normal person, but
is your wife artistic too, or does she see what you're cranking out? She's like, holy crap, like this is unbelievable.
She sees what time it takes to get this stuff done in the time I spend. I work till about 4, 5 in the morning drawing. And then I go to sleep for however long I can, whether it be a couple hours or so. And then I do whatever I need to do throughout the day until I start my drawing. And that's lather, rinse, repeat every day. So when Caesar calls and asks me if I want to join the live stream and I tell him I'm busy, it's not.
Oh, he's not blowing me off. He's busy. I mean, let's be honest. That's one of the things. I'm like, David's like, I got a commission due like in a minute, or I got a deadline due tomorrow. Go do it. I'm just we're just two dudes who do a fucking podcast. You got a wife. You got a wife. You got a wife and kids. Go knock yourself out. I mean, you got.
I think that's another thing is if you treating the fans who request and commission you in that same respect. I mean, you could go on any art book or our art page on Facebook for comic art and just see the plethora of folks who've been waiting years for their work, who have been ghosted. So that is awesome to see too. And
they're waiting for work for me for that long too. I mean, that's not. I'm not a saint when it comes down to it. I've had my issues in the past with trying to manage schedules and manage workloads, and I'll be honest, there's that's still affecting me now. But I always stay in touch. I always keep in touch. I always offer a solution to a problem, and if that solution is met with the support that I've received lately, and it's shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful, and I want to make sure that I can devote every ounce of my attention to you. But I also have this not an obligation. I don't want to say obligation. I want to say I have this purpose to also do this.
Yeah.
And I have to do this too. And I hope you can understand that I love you and appreciate you. But I also want to make sure that these people are taken care of too. Yeah. And I have a deadline. Those take priority over that.
The fact that you keep the lines of communication open throughout the process.
Most of them have turned into very close friends. All of them, really.
That is the biggest thing.
Very close friends.
Yep.
Like I said, one of my closest friends, who I owe commission to right now, was the one that came up with the Tupac idea. I mean, for the DOT. I mean, it's his.
So speaking of commissions, where are you right now? If people were to say, "Hey, I need a like Brandon wants a fucking Spawn commission," I mean, where are you? Are you taking them?
RC. I can't do one right now.
Right. So I'm saying, right now your commission's on hold because you got shit to do.
No, I won't be. I have so many people that I do want to make sure I take care of first, and if I could show you the amount of pieces that I'm working on right now, little by little, itching closer and closer to finishing. If I can just get through with those, then I can open up something. But right now, I don't plan on opening up anything until maybe beginning of next year.
That's not bad though. That's not bad.
But that's awesome.
But David, let me ask you: are you getting faster with like certain pieces?
No.
It's the opposite.
Nope.
No,
faster.
I mean,
to me, faster.
So there was another artist that reached out to me recently by the name of Dale Altman.
Dale.
Dale's a good dude.
He's from
Dale Guzman's a good guy.
Buffalo.
Dale is by far one of the nicest people I've ever met in the industry, and
he's got a job, like a full-time gig. This guy.
Yeah. And he asked me the same question. He would reach out to me asking me for help, for at least some guidance on certain things, because I've been that guy to reach out to other artists for help, and I've not gotten the same response that I gave Dale, but I wanted to. He asked me, like, how do you draw so real? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, how do you draw it the way you do? Like, it looks so real. How do you do it? I was like, look, so it always trips me out when people are on the highway speeding. It trips me out because you're still going to get where you need to go. why do you have to go so fast? You go so fast, you make mistakes. You speed, you make that turn, change that lane too quickly, you're going to crash. Something's going to happen. God forbid. It's the same way in art. The faster you go, the more mistakes you're going to make. So I like to take my time. I like to show patience the respect it deserves. So I find that mechanical pen. That's why I draw with mechanical pencils. It allows me to focus on every single section, make sure everything is lined smoothly. And I showed him a progress photo I did of gun hunting cover that I drew not too long ago.
It looks great.
Thank you. And it was, and I showed him, this is how I do it. If you can understand what I'm doing here, then you have to be that person on the highway that just goes 50 when everybody's going 70, 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Because you're still going to get where you want to be. You're just going to get there safer, and you're going to get there the right way.
Slow and steady wins the race, man.
So it's weird how I analogy, gave him that analogy, but it worked out in my favor with explaining it, and I was just happy that it helped. I hope it helped. I really did, because I like Dale. He's super nice to me.
He's a really cool guy. Dale's really cool.
So
really cool.
If you're watching, Dale, hope you did it, man.
Slow it down, Dale. That's what you got to do. That's the advice from your Uncle Caesar. Slow it down. Screw what David said. It's slow it down. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
No, and I apologize, Brandon. I wish I could draw for you, man.
Next, Brandon, ask him next year.
Yes.
So the Transformer Archie cover, there's no rush. You can just get it done by August. That's fine. No worries.
For that, if I were drawing that for a cover, I would love to have, in a perfect world, I'd love to have like a full month to myself.
That's a good question. What for you? What's a good timeline for you to go? In this case, I want you to draw, Starscream and Megatron ripping fucking Bumblebee apart.
That would be just
and they say, David, how long do you need untouched? A month?
In a perfect world, a month. If you need it, give me. If you need it pretty quickly, give me at least 2 weeks.
Wow.
Tupac. The first Tupac I did for DOT took me 4 days to draw.
Holy shit!
That was only because I was going to Florida to propose to my wife, so I had to rush that one. The second Tupac took me 2 weeks to draw, and there's a huge difference between the two, so you can tell. But in a perfect world for something like Transformers, I'd love to have a month. If we were given solicitations early enough, it would be great.
So that means in 2 months you could basically draw it coming off the page.
It'll look like you're looking through a window.
That's what I'm talking about. See, that's what I'm talking about. Hey everybody, this is David Sanchez. He's a magician. He does things with pencils that you would never know what he does. I'm just saying. There's David is one of my he's up there with one of my favorite artists, and I say that to all the artists that come on the show. You're my favorite artist. You know that, David. I got to say that to every single artist that comes on the show.
No, I appreciate that.
So right now, David's my favorite. Right now,
artist on the show.
Right now, David's my favorite artist, and then we'll have John Jag. I'm like, John Jag's one of my favorite artists.
Well, he's one of my favorite too.
Yo, I listen to these interview artists like every week, and he's like,
John, I think
you're my favorite artist.
I think John,
but you'll never hear him say, "This is my favorite writer."
Ever.
I think John, Aaron Barling, Suspiria.
Suspiria.
Woo! Those guys, I mean, Suspiria was super, super sweet. And Aaron and I, we've done a cover together, and we've had just a blast hanging out at shows. And John, I mean, when I can get through the crowd with John's table,
John's table is always fucking busy, man.
He's just so chill. I always enjoy hanging out when I see him, if he has some free time and stuff. So there's a lot artists that I really enjoy hanging out with. Martin Zavala is one of them.
Yeah.
There's a few others too that I don't really get to see a lot of these days, but I know those guys are it's easier to connect with those people. It's like we've never stopped talking. The last time we hang out, we're just kind of picking up where we left off.
Right.
So
I mean, what one of the fans of the show, if he's watching, Ryan Kincaid, right? Ryan's
another one too.
that guy's a blast, right? So it's great, man. And I'll say it again. People love this show because it brings realism to talented artists like David. People forget these artists are just real people, man. There's just have a knack to do things. They
And
do
that's
it
how
well.
I see you. When I look at some of the stuff that they showed today, a lot of it I hadn't seen before. I see some of the stuff. I see a lot of the stuff that you will post on Facebook.
Mhm.
And I like to categorize, not that anybody should be categorized, but I personally, from my frame of reference, like to categorize artists in different groupings for different styles. And I know you had mentioned Alex Ross, and I see you in that type of a category, but I also put like with that hyper realism, like Delato,
Gelato, yeah.
Perillo as well. Like that's like the where I see you at in that
Like
category.
Mark
you know what
Spears.
I mean?
Mike
Yeah,
Spears.
Mark Spears, not as much Mark Spears, only because I don't really enjoy Mark Spears as much as some. I don't dislike what he does.
Traditional Mark Spears, that's different.
Yeah, it definitely is different. That's because of the color choices for me. It's just kind of, saying we always talk about that. The color choices just, but yeah, I don't know. When I think of a David Sanchez, I think of Perillo, I think of Delato, I think of you in that, and I mean that. Like that's what I think of because that's how I could categorize. Like you're right up there amongst the best when it comes to hyper realism, in your work, like right there. And it's crazy because it's something that I'm saying, right? You have to actually be really good at it. You can count them. You can actually count them. You know what I mean? Those people who you have to actually really be good. And those are the ones that, and I don't want to take anything away from other artists because, I'm a fan of comics. So I'm a fan of comic art. I'm a fan of writing. I won't take anything away. But the reason why I categorize it that way is because those are the ones that go from being a cover artist to being, Alex Ross just opened a gallery. You know what I mean? Like he literally he literally has an exhibit. You know what I mean?
His work
in an art gallery with his work. And so those are the ones though. And that's not to take anything away from like, awesome artists. Like, I think Art Adams is the GOAT to me personally. Right. I think he was but then, Sienkiewicz or what have you. Right. But there is a class of artists that their work, they do it in such a way that they transcend just being a comic artist and they become like these iconic artists. People outside of comics know Alex Ross. I think that is what's going to happen with Delato, with Perillo, and I think with you as well. I think people are going to see that cover, and I mean this. Like I said this earlier, and I know you probably hate it. I would. No one ever wants to be defined by the one thing, right? They always want to be better than the, and keep improving.
I always say that. I've done other covers since.
But you have a magnum opus. you have a magnum. You do. That doesn't mean that's going to be your best work. It doesn't mean that you the only thing you're going to be defined by. But you actually already have that. It is an amazing piece of work. For what it is. People outside of the comic community, when they see that, they're like, yo, this is art. Like this is art. You know what I mean? Like that's, and that's where you're at, and you're awesome. I appreciate it. Appreciate what you do.
David, how long did it take you to do the Big Rig cover?
2 weeks. Yeah.
I think it is. I think it's significantly different from some of your previous works, and the level of detail that you have in that close-up shot looks just fantastic on your Instagram, but it's still available, right?
The original artwork, yeah.
The original, yeah. So for those of you in the chat who are like, oh, I want something from David Sanchez, well, go to his Instagram, and if you love Post Malone, if you like me and Dan and Ish, not Caesar because he's not going to read it, but think that this book is going to pop off, like get in on that. Get an original piece from David, and then
I'm always hoping to hold on to these pieces, but I haven't had the opportunity to really. I wish I would have held on to the Tupac, but I can always go down.
Jock wishes he held onto his Joker cover.
Oh my
$290.
Oh
like
my
I
gosh. 200 and
he's like,
yeah,
hold on.
288K or whatever.
Like,
Right.
Absolutely insane.
You know,
Insane.
I saw
Well, like, well, it's about that time, and you know,
Well,
David has things
wait,
to do.
David, when can we expect like the preview of Department of Truth? When should we be watching your socials for that? Either a little like all those close-up detail pictures you got, you know, the tease, or the full reveal. Do you know when?
So I'll be doing more of a I guess a tease photo near the end of the month, and then I would expect sometime in September. And then if you did see the solicitations on Boom,
that's like
the
top
one
secret.
at the bottom of the list, that was the number one. I'm gonna be shooting for that.
Nice.
If you know what you know what it is. So I'll hopefully have that around October.
Yep.
For that one, if I get the opportunity. But that is for DOT. I would say the beginning, close to the middle, but more in the beginning part of September, for sure.
So keep an eye out.
I have one quick question
Pay
before you're
attention,
gone.
because this is going to be insane.
Are you pretty
It's
booked?
gonna be insane. I can't wait to see it, dude.
Sorry?
I was literally talking to you about you to my group of that we do books with, and I'm like, we're trying to figure out, and like, maybe because they're doing mini stories in future issues, and we're like, who can we tap for these?
Yeah,
and I'm happy that you're doing yours.
I want to do Philadelphia with you at some point, so
I'd be honored. I'd be honored to work with any of you. I mean, it would be fun. I mean, you just let me know what you think would be great to work on together, and yeah, I definitely would.
It would just be an honor to have some carne asada with you, David. That's all I want. I don't want to have any books. No books, no commissions. I just want to cut some carne asada. That's all.
I wish I could have been to MegaCon this year, but I did apply for next year, so we'll hopefully.
Well, no, because I think I'm done. I'm getting too old to travel, man.
No way.
It's too much, man. 5 hours on a plane. I'm telling you, I'm getting to a certain age now where I'm like, I don't know.
Caesar, huh? Commit to a meetup with us.
You're in California or something?
No, I'm in New Mexico.
5 hours.
To go to Florida? Fuck yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't talk because I drove. So I drove 16 hours last time, so it's not that bad.
Well, next time, I mean, David, next time just swing by and pick me up, and then I'll be your drive buddy.
Sure. Well, if I'm going to like LA Comic Con, I'll come grab you.
No, you're not, because you're below me. I'm
in Texas. I'm right next to you.
Oh, yeah, but aren't you? You're kind of like, oh no, you are kind of next to me, aren't we?
Wherever you are, I will be there. Wherever you will.
He sounds like the last Mohicans. Yeah. Wherever you are, I'll find you. Yeah. That's funny. All right, let's. On that note, now that David's going to come and have some tripas with me, we're going to have find some tripas tacos. All right, guys. So this is the part of the town where we go around, tell everybody what we're doing, where we can find each other. I'm going to save David for last. So David, you can start thinking about where you're going to be, how people are going to find you, all that good stuff. But let's start.
Quick, hold on. Had a question.
Which one?
What were you going to say? Yes.
Oh, you have a question?
Well, I didn't. I turned it into a statement. I said
Okay.
I would still like to do a Philadelphia cover with you. So I didn't
Oh.
ask. I just made it into a statement.
Oh, he made
No,
it to a statement.
I mean, if you message me, I will
Oh, yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
talk about that. I'm definitely on board.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be that. It could be anything. But
Yeah, but I really, so it's something that I've wanted to do, culturally, and as a comic person, but also culture. That's the one I've wanted to do since like 2021. I've been wanting to do a
I'll be
Philadelphia
honest.
cover.
I was bummed out it didn't work out, but
Yeah, especially because at that time Spawn was in the book too, so it was like, you know what I mean?
That's close as
Spawn
I
and
was gonna
Savage
get,
Dragon. It was like, yo,
that's about as close as I was gonna get. Oh, one
All
day,
right.
maybe.
Wait, you know what? We're still young. Let's go ahead and work on a couple things together. All right, here we go. Let's go with you, Dan. Tell us about yourself.
Start with Sam. Can you start with Sam? Because I'm going to share something. He's gonna plug it here.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Sam.
Always a pleasure to be on here. Thank you so much for the invite. As always, it was awesome getting to talk to you, David, and getting to meet you. What we have going on right now, I dropped my second exclusive cover this week. It is a pre-order that will be released on August 13th. You could go to comicsam.com. It'll take you to my eBay page. We partnered with Jay Gonzo, who is an absolutely incredible artist. For those of you who have seen his work previously, he did a 4-set of Dia de los Muertos, Calavera, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles covers. We chose to work with him to continue that series and do a Shredder #1. And this has gone absolutely insane. Our reveal post had like 15,000 views, so it's absolutely nuts. I love this cover. I can't sing his praises enough. So take a look, comicsam.com. Pre-order if you want, or you could reach out to me directly on Comic Sam Collects on Instagram, and we could figure something out. But that's what I got today. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
Yeah, that's I gotta admit that's a pretty cool cover, man.
I love it.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. The Dia de los Muertos is all right. Whenever you do a Dia de los Muertos on anything, it always works out. Yeah,
I've always
you can even do a Dia de los Muertos with this Lebanese. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do it.
One of
Dia
these
de
days,
los Dia de los Falafel. Am I still
Diaz de
sharing,
los,
Caesar?
did you say Diaz de los Falafel? Was that what you
Yes,
just
he
said?
did.
Dia de los Falafel. Hey, am I still sharing, or can you actually see me?
No, I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you.
Okay, I'm sorry you have to look at me, but anyway, firstly, if you don't find me here on the comic menu on Tuesdays, which I get the absolute pleasure to chat with some of my great friends that I truly respect and admire, and I get to meet some amazing creators that I know are grinding it out, that I truly respect and admire, and I'm just so fortunate to do that. You can find me on Instagram at treecitycomics.com, where I'm always posting about the books I'm reading, especially on New Comic Book Day, which is tomorrow. So full disclosure, if you have a regular pull file and you're reading my post on Wednesday, you might get spoiled, so maybe hold off. But I would love for you to, after you've read your books, or if you don't care about getting a potential spoiler, to come out to my posts and comment on what you think about the books you're reading, what you like, you didn't like. Let's just chat. Let's connect on Instagram, because that's what the socials is all about. We're all like-minded collectors, and let's chat about the books we're reading. So, once again, Caesar, thanks for having me on. Find me on Instagram, guys, at Tree City Comics.
All right. Let's. I always save Ish for last, so let's go with David. David, what do you? Where can we find your work and all that good stuff?
You can find my work at www.davidsanchezartist.com. You can find me on social medias at dsanchezartist, at dsanchezartist for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Right now, I'm in the process of potentially setting up a Kick stream to start streaming the work I'm currently working on right now, for everybody to hang out and watch me draw. It's going to be primarily commission work, not cover work. So those that do have commissions with me, you'll be able to see me work on them as
That's cool.
hopefully here pretty soon. right now, I just released my cover for Vault Comics Post Malone's Big Rig #1, which is available at cyberless.com. And the next cover I'll be dropping, it will be a Department of Truth #0, and that'll be my first image exclusive or artist exclusive with my friends at also Telecomics. They'll be associated with it. Pastime Comics will be associated with it, and a few other friends of mine. I'll get you more details on them. My buddy Carmen, buddy Robert, Mold Man. If you're not familiar with Mold Man, he's an amazing guy. But we have that coming out here hopefully next month, and hopefully more to come after that.
You know, the guy with the best beard, sorry, Dell, in town or at least in the community. Dell's beard looks like child's play compared to the
Dell puts in a lot of work too.
Oh, Dell puts in a lot of work to promote him. But Dell puts a lot of work to promote Dell. You know what I'm saying? All right, what's going on there, Ish?
Yo, y'all know what time it is. I am Issue X, and before I say what I want to say about me, which is very minuscule, I want to shout out the homeboy Dan from Tree City Comics. I want to make sure y'all follow him on Instagram, and you need to follow Dan on Instagram. Dan is very creative and very clever, and you will enjoy every one of his posts. He can make the most mundane things seem very interesting and entertaining because he is very clever. Very clever, very creative in the way he drops these posts. He could talk about a popcorn bucket and you're going to love it. Like, you're really going to love it. He's so insightful. He's such a fresh perspective. Make sure you follow Dan at Tree City Comics. Check out his reviews. Comic Sam dropping dope exclusives. One of the most knowledgeable, one of the most insightful guys in the industry. I've been telling him to get in this podcast community for a long time. Glad he's here. His Feta Shubina exclusive of Exclusive Courses is fire. His Gonzo exclusive is fire. Sam doing fire things. Yo, I cannot say enough about being able to hang out with David Sanchez. If you are going to get one exclusive of a comic book, I'm going to tell you right now, Vault is putting out a comic called Big Rig that has no business being as good as it is from a Vault comic. It is phenomenal. It is fire. And if you are going to get an exclusive cover, what we doing? What are we doing? If you're going to get an exclusive cover, if you're going to get Big Rig #1, it has to be the David Sanchez exclusive. It's got to be. Like, what are we doing? Talk about hyper realism on a book from Vault. So I can tell you right now, Vault's biggest selling book of all time was a book called Barbaric that dropped in 2021. 60,000 copies. Big Rig is going to surpass that. Big Rig, the production, it's Post Malone, it's optioned. You probably want every exclusive cover, and you want to start with David Sanchez's exclusive cover, and then you want to follow it up with Department of Truth #0 by David Sanchez. Why? Because if you check the record and you see the last thing that David Sanchez did from Department of Truth, we are talking about an artistic masterpiece that is probably going to go down as one of the most iconic exclusive covers and a classic in that Tupac cover. Do you really want to leave what David Sanchez has in store for Department of Truth on the table? We don't want to do that. I got to give another shout out to the homeboy Cesar D. Morales. Week in and week out, consistently for years, this guy continues to bring you this podcast. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. Listen, I need you to go. It's on Instagram. I need you to go to YouTube right now. And I need you to give it a thumbs up. I need you to give it a thumbs down. I need you to press play for like 3 seconds. Because this dude continues to bring this contact week in, week out, without fail. So I just need y'all to go do that. I'm Issue X, owner, proprietor of Comic Sense, Robin Hood of the Unfair Market. We pride ourselves on bringing you the best value in the Unfair Market, full-fledged middle finger, and all of the smoke to the Unfair Market. I got an exclusive cover dropping from Daniel Acuna. It is called Escape #1, dropping August 20th. Caesar's going to help me out with a video.
Huge.
The full review of it is going to be really big. So yeah, that's what it is. That's who I am.
Well, hold on. And I'm going to give Ish his flowers because he won't talk about it right now. But we just, this past weekend, held the first ever Iconicon. And that was right from Ish's head. Brought the Buffalo community together. We had our first con full of vendors, artists, had an incredible time. There were a lot of trades happening, a lot of sales, and it's just the beginning. Volume 2 next year is going to be absolute fire. So
Wow.
Is that Daniel Acuna from Avengers Twilight? Daniel Acuna.
yes,
Yep.
and
Dude,
the
what are we
cover.
talking
I've
about
seen
here?
the cover.
What are
Get
we
ready.
talking about here?
Get ready. It's
Yeah,
going to be.
Yeah, be jealous, Dan. Be jealous, Dan, because I'm going to see the cover soon. Because I'm going to make a reel for it. That's right, everybody. Speaking of reels,
Oh, I need.
that's
some
me.
pictures for my covers.
The real Dracula's Wolf will be doing a reel for The Escape. That's right. Because in a world where Ish does an exclusive, it will be fire. So you see, David's like, oh, I'm getting ideas, man.
You gotta do an Elvis voice for that Department of Truth coming up. Get some
Oh,
work
yeah,
going.
that's
Caesar.
cool.
Get some work going.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully you guys like it.
Caesar's gonna have hair for that reel.
I'm gonna have a pump.
You gotta do the look. You gotta do the Elvis
Commodore.
look.
But I guess I'll be playing kind of fat Elvis, right? Because that's the other thing too. That's the other thing too, right, David? Because you don't know if there's going to be an Elvis involved. Is it going to be the young, good-looking Elvis, or is it going to be the sweaty, fat Elvis? You know, it's we don't know. Stay tuned, everybody. Well, listen, you can catch my reels on the Instagrams. I'm still dropping reels on my slab and figure pairings. I still have a shitload more that you guys. I don't know if you guys don't know, but I specifically hide a lot of stuff that you guys don't see. I have a lot more to do. I generally
Just
we wait. Yeah, that's. I'll do the reel for the toilet. You know, so this is the thing too is that I genuinely
he's been in his bathroom, yeah. Like the whole time he's been in his bathroom on his toilet.
What do you think I've been sitting on this whole time? This is the thing, everybody. I truly like David. David he's a friend of the show. We wait too long to have David on. We're not going to wait this long, but David's a busy man, and he jumps on and he broke some time to rest those fingers of his to join it and geek out with us. And it's always fun to have David on. If he's not eating chips and burning, getting hot hole from eating the fucking one chip challenge, he's over here talking about books. He's talking about the fire he's bringing. He's talking about working with people to have their dream come true on paper. That's what I'm talking about. And this is what the community is about. So next week, we're going to have Jason Robb, who's been on the fucking chat, not shutting up the whole time. He's going to be coming on. We got DJ will be coming on. We're going to be talking Superman, the movie. Hopefully, I'm going to be watching it by then. I'm going to go Sunday, watch it. We're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it because by then,
I think
spoilers are enough. Spoilers are enough.
And shout out to J Rob. He's also a collaborator on my exclusive cover. He's a partner.
Oh, in that case, forget it. Fuck you,
Dude,
real.
I cannot believe they killed Starfire in that.
You might not still be a citizen by next week.
Wow.
With all of the craziness you've been throwing out on the street.
I'm just saying. Oh, we didn't even talk about it, and I'm going to save it for next week. I watched the Marvels. We're going to talk about. I finally watched the Marvels.
Oh my god! What?
And I finally watched
Sam.
I finally watched the last Venom 3 movie as well.
You like that
one?
I
need to be here next week.
Oh, Venom 3 was Venom 3. I know we're going over, but Venom 3. Talk about toilet. Talk about sitting on the toilet. Venom 3 was pretty close to it. As a matter of fact, I think I'd rather have
hole, but don't.
I would rather have hot hole than to watch Venom 3 again. I'm just saying, it's pretty fucking bad. But we could talk about it next week. All right, so come back next week. We're gonna all get together and have a gay old time. David, hang on for a few more minutes because I want to ask you a question.